2 Autos, ein Dach, eine Seitenlage.
Okay.
Keine auslaufenden
So
Betriebsstoffe.
they are now conducting their 360 reconnaissance.
Hallo?
Assessing the
Verletzter
vehicle,
schwarzes
seeing if there are
Auto.
any hazards.
Wo?
As you could hear from the last team, the assessors are very keen and looking at the 360. 360 is vitally important for your safety. And
Okay, Tobi, du übernimmst. Dennis, hilfst du beim Unterbauen?
first reconnaissance is clearly
Den
done.
X mit dem Start fast.
They're now collecting the tools, preparing to stabilize the vehicle. Beck's medical bag is also in place. They've provided us with bags full of medical gear. As you can see, the person is this time entrapped, laying on its back in the vehicle. He is still conscious, so they're able to talk to him. They're putting him on a monitor now, see his condition, while the rest of the team is working on getting this car stable. They will have some difficulty accessing this time. As you can see, there's a big orange block at the back of the vehicle that this allows them for entering from that side, so the tunneling the previous team has done is not possible. Meanwhile, on the other side, they are stabling the red vehicle, making sure that that cannot move. They try to harmonize the two vehicles, so put them together so that there's one rigid block. Preventing movement is important. You don't want the victim that maybe has spinal or neck injuries to move. That can be very dangerous, so that's why they're taking time to stabilize the vehicle.
Ich will hier noch einen Startpost haben. Ja, Achtung. Gib mir mal so eine orangene Plane.
You can hear Jonas talk to his people. Jonas is the team captain of this team. He's assessing, walking around, making sure that he has a good idea of what everybody's doing, preparing for the next move.
Hol mal noch so eine große Orange. Stopp, Dennis. Warte mal kurz. Ich will, dass da eine orange Plane einfach reinkommt, dass nichts reinrieselt, okay? Ist das die größte, was wir haben? Ja, okay, das geht. Ja, nix. Perfekt. Hier unten, dass kein Glas reinrieselt, okay? Einfach da über die Kante.
Then I will open this.
They stabilized the vehicle on its side. They're also stabilizing this vehicle that's on its roof with V-struts as well, covering sharp edges.
Tobi, wie schaut es bei dir aus?
Okay, ja, ich habe gerade stabile Patienten. So, I will see nothing.
Was sind denn seine Beine?
Keine Prellmarken. Die sind wohl eingeklemmt im Lenkrad.
Jonas is now talking to his medic, assessing the situation.
Und hier?
Ja, auch. Okay, wie schaut es bei euch aus? Okay, alles klar. Dann könnt ihr schon mal alles vorbereiten für Glasmanagement. Die Türen auf die Fenster auf der Seite.
Meanwhile, at the back of the vehicle, Jonas is addressing his technical crew, sending them away now to collect a few tools. Next move will obviously be aimed around getting this patient out, liberating him, so creating space to get an easy access, and after that, after they've created access, they will create a bit more space to get him out easily.
Achtung, kurzes Hand von Hand. Hört ihr mich alle? Ja. Also wir machen hier eine große Seitenöffnung und machen die beiden Türen raus. Und dann müssen wir hier wahrscheinlich mit dem Pedalschneider Kopfstütze und vielleicht Lenkrad. Das sehen wir dann, wenn wir an den Beinen dran sind. Vorderplage machen wir da hinten an der Bande.
Die Patientenfolie brauche ich noch rein. Die liegt neben dem Rucksack. Okay, also now we will rescue you carefully. Genau. It gets very noisy, yeah? Okay. Because we have...
We're now talking to Jeffrey. Jeffrey is our victim of the day, you could say. He's entrapped in the vehicle. They're telling him exactly what they're going to do, and that will prevent him from surprises. He don't want surprise bangs or anything else that might startle the entrapped person. So they're telling him exactly what they're going to do, so it's not a surprise to him. Meanwhile, tools are being prepared. Cutter and mini cutter are approaching.
Nee, die vordere Tür auf. Ich habe es vorhin nicht aufgemacht wegen seinen Beinen.
Ah, mal gut. Au.
Vorsicht! Jetzt zwischen, genau. Die Visiere alle unten. Bereit? Okay, seid mal vorsichtig, da am Fuß ist zu sehen. Seid ihr bereit? Ja. 3, 2, 1.
They're now breaking glass. They're removing the glass first before they will get that door out of the way. If you do that before you're actually taking the door out, it's a much safer method. If you're spreading the door off, a lot of tension gets on the door, and the glass will explode pretty much in a much wilder manner than if you do it controlled. That's why they're doing this first. Then they'll get the doors out of the way, and that will give them access to Jeffrey.
Vorsicht mit dem Fuß, wird es aussehen. Lass das Ding nicht holen. Ja. Habt ihr das noch? Wo ist denn der harte Plastik? Habt ihr den? Jonas? Habt ihr den harten Plastik auch da?
Was? Ja, der ist auch da.
Okay, weil ich den halt nicht.
Glass is being collected on a tarp, then folded together, and they'll move the tarp out of the way. Most of the glass is there with removed. We're now preparing the cutter. Captain is saying he got 5 minutes to get this done. Preparing to cut the hinges. They've obviously been told Jeffrey that they're about to cut the hinges, as that usually makes a loud bang. The hinges are made of compressed metal, so cutting them is not a problem. You can always easily cut them with these cutters, but it will create some noise. His colleagues are now ready to catch the door. These doors are nowadays well reinforced, so they're pretty heavy. Cutting the second hinge as we speak. You can hear the bang, that was the hinge popping. Now they're removing the check strap, which is the little strap that prevents the door from flying open when there's a wind blowing or something. That it's not a strong piece, but it still needs to be removed. That's being taken care of now. So the door is now off, door is being brought away, and that will give him access to Jeffrey. They will now prepare to take the second door off.
Wenn das nicht geht, lassen wir die Tür drinne, machen nur die B-Säule raus und schieben das Bein von Seite.
Plastic sheet is covering Jeffrey, and then there's hard protection, which is the transparent metal sheet that you see, plastic sheet that you see. That is there to make sure that nothing can happen to Jeffrey while cutting. We're removing the top end of the door, even though it's fully under at this point now, and they'll do that because they don't want the door to lift the vehicle whilst they're cutting. If you lift the vehicle up, that means it's getting out of its stabilization, and then you have to restabilize the door, and it's also a movement that you don't want. So that's why they take off the top end. Preparing now for the next cuts, taking the hinges out. And that will give them full access. They'll probably focus on the B-pillar next. That's the second door out of the way. It's being brought off right now.
Den Gurt einer durchmachen. Gurtschneider.
They're now going for the B-pillar, trying to take that out.
Der Arm mal gucken, versetzt auf. Ja, passt.
Slowly trying to get that door off. That loud bang means that they've gone fully through. There's obviously a lot of layers of metal inside those pillars. No match for our painting tools, but still we have to do it controlled. They've done one cut, they're conducting the second one right now. And then when they've got this B pillar out of the way, that will allow them to put the spinal board in and rescue Jeffrey. And meanwhile, one of the other members of the technical crew is taking out all the plastics, making sure that they know exactly what's inside. It's obviously important when you're cutting a B pillar away to know exactly what is, what is in there. Seatbelt potentiators, mostly, they are not meant to be cut. It's not good for the cutter, but it's also tricky. It tends to move the cutter in a direction where you don't want it. So they've done their pick and peel. And now preparing to take the top of the B pillar out.
Abdecken, Patient abdecken. Kannst du das noch umklappen, die eine Seite?
They're using the spreader to compress the B pillar.
Okay.
Compressing it means that it's easier to then cut it.
Wenn es nicht geht, halt Säbelsäge.
They're leaving the spreader locked in
Ja, nehmt die Säbelsäge.
and preparing the cutter now for the next move.
Einer hebt das Gerät.
Using a recip saw. Trying to get to the B pillar with a recip saw now. Spreader is in place for when that cut is done. They're clamped on that B pillar.
das Sägeblatt bringen.
Proving difficult to get through this B-pillar with a recip saw. There it seems.
Ganz dran, Dennis, ganz dran, ruhig bleiben.
Deze krijgen we af.
Got the B-pillar out, it's being removed at this point.
Dann
Putting it with the doors.
Schutzdecke, Schutzdecke.
Now you're using taking blanket,
nee,
put it
für
over
den
Jeffrey, make sure that he's well protected. And using our SEP protection
Jetzt die
for the
Kopfstütze.
sharp edges, sharp edge protection.
10. Pedalschneider, Pedalschneider. Tisch, das ist echt. Ja. Darf ich mal sehen? Ja, legt es auf zwischen den. Lass den einfach.
Covering up all the sharps at this
2
point.
Minuten.
That's obviously needed to make sure that when you extricate the injured person, you don't harm him any further on all the sharp metal objects. Meanwhile, that spreader is still in place.
Spine board.
They're asking for a spinal board now.
Jan.
They'll put the
Wo
spinal
hebst
board
den-
under the
den
intrapped
Spreizer?
person, and after that they'll carry him
Und
out
das
of the
Ding hier
vehicle.
bist du weg.
Hopefully
Okay.
they still have time
Und dann
to
holen
get
die den
that
hier
done.
seitlich raus.
We are
Okay,
getting closer to
Herr.
our 20 minute
Das
signal now.
Den kriegen wir rausgezogen. Kurz zuhören. Patientenablage da hinten im Eck. Ja. Ihr habt noch 1 Minute.
A lot of activity going on. They're preparing the spinal board at this point, trying to put it in, trying to get
Wenn es geht, seitlich.
access to Jeffrey.
Wenn es geht, längs, längs, längs.
Slowly and
längs,
controlled.
Ja.
And there's the whistle. That means it's over, it's ended. Big round of applause, obviously, from everyone. Team leader,
Yeah.
can I get a first response? How did it go for you?
Good. But we have a little bit accident. Yeah. What should I say? I think it was good to this point. But a little bit more time and we get a patient out. And a tool when the patient is in the hospital. Yeah.
Ja, you were nearly there. Vielleicht können wir das auch auf Deutsch machen.
Ja,
weil
leichter für
es
mich
gibt
auf
vielleicht
jeden Fall.
viele Zuhörer von Deutschland
Bestimmt, ja.
heute. Ja, wie war es, um auf eine neue BMW die Geräte zu nutzen?
War auf jeden Fall interessant, weil man hat meistens ja eh nur die Möglichkeit, in irgendwelchen Schrott-Pkw zu üben. Die sind normalerweise für die modernen Geräte sowieso kein großes Hindernis mehr. Von dem her war das auf jeden Fall eine gute Erfahrung. Wir haben direkt mitgenommen bei den Akkugeräten, dass uns das mit dem Schlauchgerät bestimmt nicht passiert wäre, weil wir einfach gesehen hätten, oder man achtet automatisch auf den Schlauch, dass er nicht abknickt. Das wäre in der Situation
Ja,
dann
die
auf jeden
Spleiße,
Fall,
meinen Sie?
Ja, genau.
Ja.
Das wäre da wahrscheinlich dann eher nicht passiert.
Ja, fast als ob wir rausgekriegen. Muss ein gutes Gefühl sein.
Ja, das auf jeden Fall. Aber das ist halt blöd jetzt mit dem Spreizer stumm gelaufen.
Okay.
Ja.
Gut, danke.
Gerne.
Okay, everyone. This was the Technische Hilfswerker. They are going to their assessors at this point and do a debrief. And we will be preparing the next scenario and see you soon. Okay, I'm here with the team of Technische Hilfswerker. They have just been with the assessors, and we will now hear them what they're taking away, what have they learned, and what are they taking home. Also, wie war es mit dem Schiedsrichter?
War gut, wir haben ein gutes Feedback bekommen. Ja, wir sind sehr zufrieden. Ja. Die Schiedsrichter waren zufrieden mit dem, was wir gemacht haben. Von dem her war fair alles.
Okay, und was kann man verbessern?
Ja, die Kommunikation unter dem Team, einfach nochmal ein bisschen mehr sprechen, sowas zum Beispiel. Oder das Handling, gerade mit den neuen Tools, war auch so ein Punkt, was man halt noch trainieren, ausbaufähig, oder was ausbaufähig ist, was man trainieren kann.
Okay, und bestimmt war es auch etwas da, was sehr gut. Was war denn das?
Ja, sehr gut war, dass wir halt, obwohl wir quasi das Tool jetzt eingeklemmt hatten, uns nicht haben unterkriegen lassen. Wir haben weitergemacht und wir hätten den Patienten auch irgendwie rausbekommen dann mit ein bisschen mehr Zeit.
Das ist dann auch das Wichtige. Gibt es noch mehrere deutsche Teams?
Ja, es gibt, glaube ich, noch ein paar deutsche Teams, aber die Namen von denen weiß ich jetzt nicht alle.
Aber bleiben Sie hier, um dann ein bisschen rumzuschauen?
Wir sind auf jeden Fall morgen noch da, schauen uns da auf jeden Fall noch die ein oder andere Challenge an. Genau. Und natürlich den Rest der Messe.
Okay, danke sehr. Gute Heimreise und viel Spaß noch. Okay, that was it from the team of Technische Hilfswerker. We'll see you at the next scenario.